at the end of this, I believe that we have Representative Douglas and possibly Senator Weaver, who sponsored all of this.
Very good.
Coming in, and if not, possibly one of them, and if neither of them make it, we will still give a public thank you to them and our state legislature for making this possible. So without anything else, I am Lori Lamb from Alternative Education, and I am so excited that you came to the Department of Ed with not just hope and help, but with money for my students. And our students go through so many struggles and challenges, and you'll see it as you're talking about it. You're going to see that this is going to light a fire and a desire within them that they wished for and hoped for, but they didn't know was possible. So you be the, I want to say the magic man, but the magic woman, and enlighten them to the money and the funding and the scholarships that are now available to all of our students and their hopes and dreams for the future. It's pretty exciting. Alicia Lewis from the Arkansas Department of Higher Education is here, and she has the most exciting, thrilling news I've had probably in 15 years at the department.
15 years, wow. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Deborah, for having me today. I am excited to be here with you today. I'm excited about the opportunities that are available to you. I hope that I can connect with you and I can inspire you to think beyond high school. That's where you are right now, and maybe you've been told that college wasn't for you. Maybe you've been told that, you know, just get out of high school and get a job and don't worry about college. And I'm here to tell you about the reasons why college is for you. Yes, ma'am.
Representative
Douglas, hi, how are you?
I am able
Good.
to, if you'll come forward for just a minute. When things happen in our state that require special attention or require extra funds or resources, the legislature talks about it, and they come up with ideas of how to serve you. And all of you have representatives and senators that represent you very, very well. One of the sponsors of this bill is Representative Douglas. If you'll come forward for just a minute and let them hear from you what your thoughts were when you were talking about how to get these challenge scholarships into the hands of all students.
Right. Exactly. We realized there was a little bit of a loophole that some kids were falling into, and we wanted to set aside some of the lottery money for just this occasion so that you can be encouraged. We want to encourage vocational education, and this money is going to, you know, serve some of those students, give you a little bit of an encouragement that you're on the right track and that we appreciate your hard work and what you're doing. So I hope it's working. And please let me know how you used your money and how it, you know, furthered your career and your, you know, in your station in life. So I'd love to hear some of your stories. But thank you for the invitation to be here and to see some of the first recipients from the program. And Senator Hickey, who also sponsored this, I just talked to him, told him I'd be here, and he sent his, thank you to you guys and your hard work and those of you that made the applications and got these awards. So I'm excited to see the rest of the program, and just thank you for giving me way too much time. So
No, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So now you know that Representative Douglas cares about your future. And so why do I care about your future? My name is Alicia Lewis, and these are my credentials. I'm a former high school student, just like you. Look at those bangs and that big necklace. Isn't that cute? Yeah, those necklaces. I still have it, by the way. And I'm a general know-it-all. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer, and then I'll make sure that I'm right. And I'm also a fun-hating mom. If you see this picture over here with the 3 boys, the reason why I say I'm a fun-hating mom is because whenever I saw that picture, when I came back and saw them in the sand, of course the first thing I did was ask them how they plan to get in my vehicle without the sand. So those are my qualifications. I do care about you. I care about your future because I have a kid and I can see my kid in you guys. So, a couple of years ago, the Clinton Public School, the Clinton School of Public Service, it's a graduate program, they conducted a survey of random high school kids across the south part of the state. And they said, people just like you, they said, what is the number one barrier to your success in college? The number one barrier. Have you guys ever played Family Feud? Ever seen Family Feud? Yes? So you have Steve Harvey and he says, survey says, and he gives the answer. So think about this as Family Feud. Whenever you're talking about the number one barrier to college success, what do you think it is? Money. I'm going to talk to you in a language that you all understand. I'm going to talk to you in memes. Number one barrier to college success is money. Now, there's other answers on the board, right? That's just the number one answer. There's other answers on the board. What do you think some of the other answers are? In no particular order, I've got 4 other answers. Anybody have an idea? Yes, sir. GPA. Underprepared, not prepared. Next. Come on, you guys can give me some feedback here. What's the next one? Scholarships, lack of money. Another one? Maybe family obligations. Maybe you help take care of children. Maybe you help take care of your siblings. Maybe you help take care of your parents. Maybe you have other grandparents that you help take care of. Family obligations. What about time? Time. How many of you, we all have the same amount of time in the day, and some of us have to work, don't we? I wish I was born rich, but I wasn't. I have to get up and go to work, and so do a lot of other people. And then the fourth one is value. How many times have you seen people talk about the value of your education and saying, college isn't for me, what's it going to offer me? Have you ever heard that? Okay, well let's skip money for a second, even though I really like the Patrick meme here, I have $3. I always say it, I have $3. And we're going to skip and we're going to talk about these next 4, and then we're going to come back to money, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is time. And of course I had to use this meme because that's what, anytime somebody says I don't have time for that, we always think about this girl, right? What did she say she didn't have time for? Bronchitis? Ain't nobody got time for bronchitis? Bronchitis? Okay. So we're all given the same amount of time in the day, right? How many hours do you have in your day? 24. Guess what? I have 24 hours in my day too. How do we spend that time? We prioritize. My favorite thing in the whole wide world is to say, I don't have time for that. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to donate to your cause for whatever. I'm sorry, I don't have time to go and do this thing that you are asking me to do. But really, what is it? That's an excuse, right? You have time to do the things that you want to do as long as you prioritize your life. So and like I said, I'm the queen if I don't have time. I do not have time for that. But I got my master's degree in 2015. And I will tell y'all that even though I know I look 29, I'm not 29. Don't tell anybody, okay? I got my master's program and I have 3 boys. You saw the picture of the 3 Sandy boys. I have 3 boys, and guess what else I had? I had 3 jobs. And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, I did not have time for anything extra. I did go to church, I did my studies, and aside from that, I supported my kids in some things that they did, their activities, and aside from that, I was reading and doing my homework and trying to get my graduate degree. So I'm telling you that if you prioritize your day, you can have time for the things that you need to do. We've got some other folks joining us right now, for those of you who are live streaming. That's just more people to come in and laugh at my jokes. Dominique, you're in charge of the courtesy laugh, okay? You're not. Thank you guys for joining us. So another barrier to college success we talked about is family. You can't pick your family, can you? I love my family and they're great, but sometimes your family obligations can be a barrier to your success. Whenever I was your age, my mom was a single mom and she had 3 kids and I was the oldest. So I helped her raise my brother and sister, my little brother and sister. whenever we talked about, I mean, like we started the day off and it was like, okay, I have to go to here, I have to do this, I have cheerleading practice, I have to do this. So you're going to pick up this kid, I'm going to pick up this kid. So, I mean, really, it was like we were co-parents. So whenever I made the decision to go to college and to move away, that weighed heavily on my heart. Like, I did not know if they would be able to make it without me. And so I had to really sit back and think, okay, I have this obligation to my family, I have this obligation to my siblings, but yet I really feel like I need a college education. I really feel like this is important. And why was it important? It was important not just for myself and my future children and all of that. It was important for my siblings. It was important for the people that I had a responsibility to, because I had a responsibility to set a good example for them. I had a responsibility to be able to provide a better life for them. Does that make sense? So whenever you're thinking about, oh, well, you know, I have to, maybe you have a baby. Maybe you, like I said, have a grandmother that you take care of. Maybe you take care of your mom. Maybe you have these family obligations, but they don't have to be exclusive of a college education. And let me talk about for a minute, I'm going to talk about the value of a college education, and I'm going to talk about what college means to you. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about your family. How many of you have an incredibly supportive family of everything that you want to do in life? Raise your hand. Wow, you guys are lucky, because not everybody has that. There's a lot of people that even, and maybe not your family, but maybe your friends, that are not supportive. They feel a little threatened by the things, your hopes and your dreams and your desires. And you say, hey, I want to go out there and I want to do this and I am ready for it. And they say, oh, you think you're better than us? How many of you have ever heard that? They feel a little threatened by your success and your dreams. And sometimes you don't think that that's your family, but sometimes your family can be that. Your family can be threatened by your success. Your family can be threatened by your desires. And your family can be threatened by the possibility that you want to be something more than what you are right now. That makes people a little uncomfortable. And what I'm saying to you today is they'll come around. They'll come around and they'll say, hey, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. Despite all of the obstacles that were in your way, despite all of these barriers that you have had and that we've talked about, you did it anyway. So remember, sometimes people they're just a little threatened. They're a little insecure. You're making them feel a little insecure. It has nothing to do with you. So press on. Find your people and press on. All right. So we talked about family. What were some of the other barriers that we talked about? Unprepared. Somebody said it. GPA? It was you, wasn't it? GPA. Or unprepared. Or underprepared. So how many of you have made some mistakes academically? I like this show of hands. Honesty. I appreciate some honesty right now. I've made some mistakes academically too. The good thing to know is that you're not defined by your past. You are not defined by the mistakes that you have made. You get to choose who you want to be, and you get to choose the direction that you're going to go. Now, does that mean that you might not have to work a little harder? You might have to work a little harder. But did hard work ever kill anybody? It didn't. Think about you guys right now. How many seniors? Do we have any seniors? I know we do live stream, but we've got several seniors in the room. Is the next step going to college, does that seem a little scary to you? No? Not at all? You've been on campus, you feel comfortable, you know how to make the enrollment, you know about financial aid, you know about all of those things. That doesn't seem intimidating to you at all? Well, you're lucky, because it scared me. I was like, I don't even know the words they use. And they have a lot of acronyms in college. Oh, you just need to go down to FA. The what? The financial aid office. Oh, well, why didn't you just say the financial aid office? Why are you going to confuse me with FA? I don't know what that is. Or student services. Or there's all sorts of acronyms in the college, and they use this whole language that until you've been there, maybe you don't know what it is. And so that can be kind of intimidating to me, or it was to me. So it was a little scary to go to college, but guess what? So was kindergarten, and you got over that. So you can get over this too. Remember I told y'all I was a former high school student? Yes, y'all saw that picture of the bangs? Remember? The bangs? Oh, maybe you guys that came in later didn't. Those of you on live stream did. And the big, long, thick chain, I had that too. It was really cute. I still have it too. But I made mistakes in high school. You're going to make mistakes in high school. You're going to make mistakes in college. You're going to make mistakes beyond college. And the one thing that we can say is that it doesn't have to jeopardize your future. Figure out a way to overcome your fear, to overcome being unprepared, work hard, and achieve a college education, achieve your dreams. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the value. There is nothing wrong with working at Burger King, although sometimes their burgers do give me indigestion. I told y'all I was 29, I lied. So this meme is funny, y'all are supposed to laugh. Spent $50,000 on a liberal arts degree and continued his career at Burger King. So how many times have you guys heard that? I don't want a degree. I'm not going to be able to get a job. Heard it? Yes. So I want to talk to you about different types of careers and different types of degrees. My friend, we'll call her Shannon because her name is really Shannon. She graduated from University of Southern Mississippi with a bachelor's degree in business administration. She tried to get a job. She didn't find a job right away, so she decided to get her graduate degree. You guys, she got an MBA. That's a master's of business administration. It's a pretty recognizable degree. And whenever she got out of college, she applied for a lot of different jobs. And granted, this is in Mississippi a few minutes ago. And she didn't get a job right away. And then she applied where I was working at the time, and we gave her a job. And do you want to know what her salary was? It was $24,500. She had her MBA, and she was not making $25,000. Now, in today's times, that's been a little bit different. But she had her MBA, and she did not get a job right away in her field. I'm not saying that goes for everybody, but then let me tell you another story. I had a friend of mine who came up through alternative education just the same as you. He was in the south part of the state, and they asked me to come in and judge their career fair. And what their career fair was Dominique, they said, hey, you think of a career that you want to do, and I want you to do all of the research for it. I want you to figure out how much starting salary, what kind of education you have to have. I want you to know about what your working conditions are like. We want you to do all of this research about something that interests you. And this gentleman said, I want to be a welder. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Welding classes? Okay. He wanted to be a welder. So I come in and I judge, and I happen to know him and know who he was, and I was like, this is a great presentation, you know, and so I judged him very high, not just because I knew him, but because he really did his research. So he finishes high school, and he goes to the community college that near where he lives, and he gets his welding certifications, and there's like 3 or 4 small TIG, MIG, several. Yes, I got some input over here. So there's several certifications, and he got, I think, 3 of them. And I can tell you that within 2 years of him getting those certifications, would you like to know what his salary is? It's over $100,000 a year. So he had 2 years. No, it wasn't even 2 years. He had 1 year of college, and he got a certification in several different types of welding, and he makes over $100,000 versus my friend Shannon, who had an MBA, spent not $50,000 probably at that time, but she spent a lot of money and a lot of time in college. And does anybody remember what I told you her starting salary was? $24,500. So do not be afraid of saying, you know what, a liberal arts degree may not be for you. It may not be for you. Maybe you want to be a nurse. Maybe you want to be a welder. Maybe you want to work with your hands. That's still college. That is still college. Anything beyond high school is still college. You guys get it? Okay. So, are you going to go to college? Is college for you? Yes, come on. Well, I'm trying to make it happen for you. I say I'm trying to make it happen for you. I can't say that with Representative Douglas here. She's trying to make it happen for you, not me. I'm just trying to tell you about it. I'm trying to tell you about the work that she's done. So there's two different sources of income, grants and/or scholarships that are readily available to you that don't have a GPA requirement. Remember that, being underprepared and unprepared for college, they don't have a GPA requirement. They are available to you based on the choice that you make of the program that you want to pursue. So, Our Future, here's some information about it. It's designed to increase the skills and education of Arkansas's workforce. High demand areas and STEM areas. Does everybody know what STEM stands for? Science, technology, engineering, and math. Very good. Does nursing qualify as that? Yes. So all of these different occupations that fall into those categories are covered under the Our Future grant. Now, do you have to pay this back? It's a grant. Do you have to pay this back? No, you don't have to pay this back. Why? If, after you get your degree, you work in the state of Arkansas. Because why? We're investing in you. We believe enough in you. The state of Arkansas has said, Representative Douglas and her people at the Capitol have said, we believe in you that you're going to get an education, you're going to make Arkansas better, you're going to be an economic engine for our state, and you're going to come back and you're going to be able to work, and you're going to be self-supporting, you're going to have a livable wage, you're going to be able to help the siblings and the children and the grandparents that you said that you had family obligations for, you're going to be able to help them. So, you work in the state of Arkansas, you don't have to pay that money back. Cool beans? I think so. Eligibility is based on degree programs. So remember, we had all of those different degree programs, and they're available on a website. And you cannot have already earned an associate degree. Has anybody in here already earned an associate degree? Any college? Got some college credit? You guys, what do you have on? Criminal justice? So you've got some college credit? Dual credit. Dual credit? Cool. So I think that probably fits everybody in here. You haven't earned an associate degree. What?
Next year, I'm going to be able to earn current credit, so I'm wondering if I'm still apply for that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's perfect for you. And I'm so glad that you...
Question for the live stream, and you are welcome to come up and do it so that people can see you and hear your question, or we can repeat it.
He had an excellent question, so I'm glad he's coming up. You want to tell me your name? Can I? Okay. Up here. Come over here.
Do I have to look at the camera?
No, I'm looking at everybody.
Can I hear?
Scoot over. Yes.
All right. Do I have to look at the camera?
No, you
Okay,
can
I
just look at me. You can look at me.
So I was wondering, next year in high school, I'm going to be able to earn current credit. So can I still apply for the
Our Future grant? Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. Tell them your name.
Kanai Bedford.
Where are you from?
North Little Rock.
Well, North Little Rock. Well, I think it's...
I go to the academy.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome, number one, that you're already thinking ahead about concurrent credit, because that is, you're like leaps and bounds above most of the high school students in this state. Number two, yes, you can. You're going to be able to get concurrent credit, meaning you're going to get high school credit and you're going to get college credit, but your chances are that you're not going to get enough credit to earn an associate degree, which is like 60 hours. So this program is still perfect for you. And it's going to save you money too. Awesome. Thank you for your question. Any questions? Does anybody else have any questions on Our Future? You can go onto the website and you can look at the college. There are 22 community colleges across the state of Arkansas. So you guys that are listening via live stream, there is a community college that's near you and that you have the ability to tap into and see what programs are available for this grant on our website, which I will show you later. But it is scholarships.adhe.edu. Let's talk a little bit about the Workforce Challenge. It has the money written in there. Do you guys see? Did anybody skip down to the money part there? Part of the Arkansas Challenge Scholarship, the lottery scholarship, which you may still qualify for, there is a GPA requirement for that scholarship, and you may still get the Arkansas Challenge. But there's some other requirements for that, like you have to take 15 hours and you have to have a GPA or a 19 on the ACT. Maybe you don't meet those qualifications. If you don't, then the Workforce Challenge is a perfect opportunity for you. The Workforce Challenge is for training classes in high demand areas, and it pays for the cost of the program, classes, materials, or $800, whichever is more, less. So up to $800. How many of you know what a phlebotomist is? You know what it is? Have you ever had blood drawn? Have you ever had somebody have to draw blood? Well, you can do, yes, that too. But if you've ever had blood drawn, you know the importance of having a good phlebotomist, because it is not always easy to stick a needle in somebody and draw the blood out. And a phlebotomist, that is what they do. And whenever they are getting ready and they're, getting all the tape and all of that stuff, I want to know that somebody has been to phlebotomy school and that they know what they're doing and they're going to hit that vein the first time, right? So one of the things that is covered by the Workforce Challenge is phlebotomy school. Truck driving. That is one of the most high demand areas. In fact, I think it is the number one high demand area in the state of Arkansas, being a truck driver. I don't think you can get your full CDL until you may be like 21, but you can start the process. And I mean, to me, I would get to listen to Sirius XM radio all day. I mean, I think it would probably be a great job. Eligibility is based, again, for Workforce Challenge, it is based, again, on the program of study. And you must have earned a high school or be an Arkansas resident for the last 3 years. Applications must be completed 30 days to the prior time of class starting. This is not available until August for classes that start in August. So you've got a little bit of time. In fact, we've got some information up on the website now, but the application is not even going to be open like till the end of next month. But I wanted to tell you guys early because we had several seniors in the room, so I wanted you to go ahead and start making plans now so that you can apply for this money and make sure that you get it. Because guess what? There is plenty of money. Do you hear me? You don't hear that said very often. You do not hear that said very often at all. There is plenty of money. Anybody who meets the qualifications and gets in there and fills out the application is going into this program, you will get the money. Don't waste this opportunity. Did you have a question in the back? You want to come down?
While he's coming, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. While he's coming, I just need some clarification. You said that it's either a good GPA or a 19? They don't have to have both?
I think they have to have both for Arkansas Challenge. For the lottery scholarship.
Okay. And then you said on the application on the Workforce Challenge that it's up to $800. What if they go into a program like CNA and then later they want to do phlebotomy?
They can get $800 again. So it's per program. A lot of these health science classes are, they're called latticed and stackable, meaning that they kind of lattice over like a pie, or they're stackable. So you decide you want to be a CNA. It's a great occupation. You go and you get your CNA license, you get $800 for that class. Then you decide you want to be an LPN. You get $800 again. You decide that you really love being a nurse and you want to get your RN. You can get $800 again. It's per program. Yes, sir.
Good morning to our live streaming audience as well as our live studio audience. My name is Warren Book and I'm the criminal justice instructor here at Metropolitan Career Technical Center. And my question is, when I was in college a few years ago, just a few, there were some monies that were available through Workforce. And at the time we called it WIA. And I don't know if that's the same thing as the Workforce Challenge or is something different, but I do recall my entire tuition being paid as well as books. And it was because I was in a major, which was criminal justice, and I don't know if that was considered to be stackable or there was a high need, but I know for me it made a world of difference. And I actually was able to get some refund checks back because WIA paid
For your tuition.
So-
That's fantastic. That is not part of this program. It's actually a different program through the through DWS, and that's a different state agency than what we are. And somebody actually sent me an email the other day and asked me about that program and asked me if they were going to do it again, and I was like, unfortunately, that's not my area. But I think that they are, and there's also some rural nursing grants. So if you're in an area that is a shortage of nursing, then they pay for all of your tuition. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunities out there for you. And to make Ms. Lamb's clarification a little bit more clear, the Workforce Challenge, the $800 that I'm talking about, there is no GPA requirement and there's no ACT requirement. If you are going to maybe pursue a liberal arts degree, or if you're going to pursue something that requires you to attend 15 hours and you have a 2.5 GPA and a 19 ACT, then the Arkansas Challenge, the Arkansas Challenge money is what you want to apply for. Everybody clear as mud? Okay, let's talk about how you get this money. Do you think that I'm going to give you money without anything in return? No. No. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to show up to class. You're going to have to balance your life. We've already talked about there's barriers out there, and I acknowledge that, and I will give you that there are barriers all day long. But what was the number one barrier? Money. Money is the number one barrier, and so if I can remove that from you, if I can remove that barrier, then I'm telling you, you're going to have to balance some things. You're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to work hard. And that's all we're asking in return, is you get out there, you study, and you complete the program. Show up, go to class. So, I love that. Do you want scholarships? Come and get it. How do you get it? Oh, listen, somebody's giving the website out. Man, I hope you give her extra credit if your teacher's in here. College is for you. You see that at the top. And this is how you get started. You see that part down here where it says Universal and it says Start down at the bottom? That is where you get started on the Universal Application System. Super cool because you can apply for all of these scholarships in one place. It's the Universal Application, and if you are a high school senior in a public school, then ADE, the Arkansas Department of Education, shares your information with us, the Arkansas Department of Higher Education, and we have a little data sharing so that once where it says returning user, it says start, and it's going to say, hey, are you a high school student? And if you are, then of course it'll go ahead and pre-fill some of your information. So that's making it super easy for you. Any questions on that? One application. And you can apply for all of these. You can get Our Future and you can get Workforce Challenge together. You can stack these things. Just as the gentleman said that works here at the Metropolitan Votech, you can get this scholarship, you can get this scholarship. Maybe you have to fill out the financial aid and you get a little bit of financial aid, and you can stack some of those things, and maybe you get a refund check. Who doesn't like refund checks? Clearly y'all haven't filled out your taxes, because I promise you will like a refund check much better than you will like having to pay in.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are the list of programs that students would have to obtain to receive the funding?
Very good question. If you'll see on this website right here where it says for students, do you see right there where it says for students? At the top, it's kind of cut off, at the very top. There is a place right there that says A to Z scholarships. So you can click there and it goes down alphabetical according to all of our scholarships that we have. And like under Our Future, there's a place that says see the list of programs, and you click on that little link right there and it pops up and it'll say like maybe the first one is University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, and it'll have all of the programs that qualify. Now for Workforce Challenge, I can tell you that the three main categories are healthcare, information technology, so maybe you want to know how to network and do the things like the guys in the back here have so graciously helped us with today, the encryption and all these e-words that I don't know. And then information in industry and technology, industry and manufacturing. So all those three categories all roll into the Workforce Challenge. Any other questions?
And I think that list will change as the needs in Arkansas change.
Absolutely. We mentioned DWS, that's the Department of Workforce Services, and they're the ones that give us this list as Arkansas has, they call it like the top 40, the hot 40 jobs or something, and those are the ones that have the most high demand. And remember whenever we were talking about the value of an education, we care about you getting a job and being productive and being able to make a livable wage. So we look at that list and we have said, hey, listen, you can get a degree in golf turf management, but you might not be able to get a job. So that's what happens whenever you've spent $50,000 on a degree and you're not able to get a job, right? So we have looked at this and said, hey, listen, these are the areas that if you go to school, you get this credential, you get this certificate, you get this degree, chances are you're going to be able to find a job and make a livable wage. Yes, ma'am?
Do you know by chance if education and training qualifies for one of those options for jobs?
Education and training, there are some things available, and I think more of them are in the STEM areas. But, and it may not be available through that particular program, but there is some other programs that are available for that. She asked if there was any education and training programs available. On the...
There are for teachers that go back that do.
Yes,
TOPS
TOPS program, and that major in STEM areas, I think. And then there's...
Go back and recertify.
There's also some programs, I think, in early childhood development that are available for our future. Any other questions, guys?
I'm coming up with one.
Yes, sir.
Is there a time limit as far as the requirements for working in the state that you mentioned about that you have to once you get the certificate?
That's a really good question. He asked if there was a time limit as a requirement for how long you have to work after you receive the funds. There is, as far as not the Workforce Challenge, the $800, but there is for our future, and it's 3 years. And there's a requirement if you continue your education, there's an exemption. So maybe you get your associate degree and you get your LPN degree, or maybe you even get your RN degree, but you decide that you want to go to a 4-year university and get your BSN, and that's your Bachelor in Science, Nursing Science, yes. And that exemption can be waived if you've gone to education. But now if you are working while you're also getting a degree, that counts as well.
Is there a penalty if you do?
You have to pay the money back. It turns into a loan, and you have to, we reconfigure it into a loan, and then you make payments on it.
Okay, thank you.
I had just as a matter of information, I had a parent call, I guess it was last year, and she wanted to make sure, because I'm not even sure of the college, but her son was going to major in aircraft. I think aircraft. That's what you want to do? Well, guess what? Our future paid for flight fees too. Right there, because they're expensive. They're expensive. I didn't realize this, but our future paid for his education and his flight fees at a certain, and I don't even remember the institution, the college, but yes, and I didn't realize how expensive they are. But to be a pilot, it's not a cheap program.
So their main qualifications, if I'm hearing it correctly, is they have to have either a high school diploma or a GED.
Correct.
And then what about an age limit? If they know of a brother or a neighbor or maybe another student that was in the program last year, is there an age limit on this?
No, ma'am.
Wait a minute. Are you serious? There's no age limit?
No age limit.
They have to have a high school diploma or a GED, no age limit. So we're bettering the entire state through this.
I would love to give away, I would love to give away all of Representative Douglas's $800.
I think that looking
A lot.
at
Millions.
the faces and the eyes of the people here, I think they're coming up with ideas and ways that they can help you spend this money. And I know
I hope so.
by the activity on our live stream this morning, there are a lot of people with new ideas. One thought that came through my mind a few minutes ago was you said a whole lot. Is this going to be available at a different time? And the answer to that is, of course, we're recording it and we're going to post it on the Department of Ed site, probably under the Alternative Ed webpage.
Okay.
And there we're going to also provide additional resources like additional links and explanations and tutorials, so that you'll be able to get on and you'll be able to break it down into smaller increments, and you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for.
Perfect.
And we'll work with you on that.
I'll be happy to provide
And then we'll
information.
make it available to everybody. We've learned this a long time ago. If it's good in alternative ed, it's good for everybody. And we're glad and we're very grateful that you have brought this opportunity to our students. And I know by the looks on their faces that they're going to go home with kind of some good news.
Very
Thank
good, very good. In closing, I would just like to encourage everybody to think beyond high school, think beyond your circumstances right now, and college is for you. And of course, if you see my fun meme there, don't y'all love Snapchat? I mean, did anybody else use this filter during tax season? Nobody else did? Okay. Well, college is for you, and guess what? Lots of Benjamins are too. So if you have any other questions, that would be, oh, we got one.
Here's one from Harrison. You said that juniors can apply. What if the high school already pays that tuition? Can the student still apply and get the money as a refund?
That's a really good question. They can apply, but the high school pays for like concurrent credit. So he can apply, but it's after he has graduated. So you can apply, and what I meant by that was whenever the gentleman was up here talking about his concurrent credit, and the concurrent credit is paid for by the high school. Once you get beyond high school, guess what? They don't pay for your college anymore. So at that point is when you would want to apply.
Very good. I just want to say to Harrison, Scranton, Russellville, the Arch Ford Group, Malvern, Searcy, Mount Ida, Mr. Shaw's English class with Josh Edgen in Russellville. We have so many people that are on. If you have a question, you need to send it in right now so I can get it answered.
Yes, sir.
All right, Patrick Bruce, North Little Rock High School. Quick question. Many schools right now are looking at the scholarships they announced during the graduation ceremony.
Yes.
How soon will students be notified of their scholarship award so it can be included in the commencement ceremony?
That's a very good question. And sometimes they're not. Like the governor's distinguished scholarship, like for the person who earns a 32 on their ACT, not me, by the way, those have already been announced, and they have to go in on that system and accept the award. But they've already started making Arkansas Challenge awards. 10,000 were made 2 weeks ago, and so students have to go on and accept that, and then those can be included in the scholarship. The scholarship award ceremony. If like Workforce and Our Future, those two will not be announced until later, so those won't be able to be qualified in time for the ceremony. Did that answer your question? Okay. The deadline has been extended for Our Future and for Arkansas Challenge to June 15th. That was on our website. I think I put that on the website yesterday. So you do have a little bit longer because you do have to get some documentation in. You have to fill out the FAFSA and some things like that. So there's some documentation that's required. Yes, ma'am.
How soon would this information go out to school counselors so that they can assist students through the process?
I love that question. We sent out a letter Monday to school counselors about this workforce challenge. Our Future, we sent out that information last year because this is the second year that we've received applications for that. The workforce challenge, this is the first time. And so we sent the information to the counselors on Monday. We were hoping that by that time that most of the testing had been over and that they would have a chance to sit down and look at that email and really go through and make use of the information. But this is very new. Senator Hickey and Representative Douglas, they passed the bill in the last general session, but it was set to take place this summer and be available for August. So this is very, very new, and that's kind of why I'm here today, is because I'm afraid that I don't want anybody to miss out on this opportunity. I don't want anybody to miss out on this money. So I'm trying to do several different things to make sure that the public, potential students, parents are aware of this opportunity.
From Lafayette County, a question is, what if you want to further your education? And I think you addressed that a few minutes ago, that there are some additional teacher education scholarships, and it would still be on the Universal Scholarship site, but I'll let you address it.
Yes, there is an opportunity for continuing a teacher education, and that's through the STEP, is it TOP? Teacher Opportunity, yes, Teacher Opportunity, and I think they're actually restructuring that so that there's some STEM incentives there too if you want to major in an area that is in high demand in our state, and if you want to go, if you're agreeing to teach in an area that's got a shortage of teachers, you can get reimbursed for all of your education expenses, and that is also available on the Universal Application System.
I'm almost done here. They keep coming in pretty quickly. Charles Jones, your academy has made you proud. I'm glad that you know that they're going to put this money to work. And Fort Smith, Bell Point, so glad that you guys are in. It looks like most of the questions are being answered, and our live stream audience, although they've been late to another class, I think are fairly grateful that we've made this opportunity available across the state simultaneously. Last time, it is being recorded. Last time, in the next 2 weeks, I'm hoping to have this all organized on our website, so you'll be able to go to arkansased.gov under the letter A, Alternative Education. On the bottom of the first page, you'll be able to find something about this higher education opportunities. Yes, ma'am. arkansased.gov, and that's the ADE website, and then the letter A on the ruler bar, and under that you'll look for alternative education. Click on it and we'll have this for you there. We may put it in multiple places. I know I did get a copy of the counselor's letter yesterday.
Very good.
Because I stopped there to make sure what's good for alternative ed is good for all ed, and we want to share all the good news and are very grateful to our legislature for making this available and our higher ed partnerships.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks, guys.